Okay. Okie dokie. Told you I was running behind. Sorry. Sorry that I'm running behind, oh god. I am sorry. Struggling. Absolutely scrambling. But we made it. We got here in the end. We arrived. Sort of. Just, 10 minutes later. 10 whole heckin' minutes. Imagine. That's crazy. I'm upset about it. I'm not gonna lie. Don't love that I'm being this slow. I don't. Now, why would this not reflect Twitch? Oh, I know why. Because Twitch wasn't working initially. So I need to refresh the Twitch page. Now let's see. See if it works now. Oh, now it works. Oh, Twitch misbehaving. That's right. That's right. It's very different. Very different than Mr. Behaving. You're welcome. I'm sorry. Listen. Everybody's like, it didn't have to be like this. It didn't have to have puns. You're right. It didn't have to. It got to. We were able to have them. Fortunate to have them. Oh, Boogan rated out. Oh my gosh. Okay, reclaim bandwidth. Who else rated out? Who else did it? Because we put friends before frames, but not Randy. Not Randy. Oh, Zen's live. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Okay. Anybody else? Who else is doing David? Oh, greetings. Salutations all. Very good to have you. How the devil are we? How's the stuff? How's things? How are you? Tell me the tea. And tell it to me true. Don't not fib. You could tell me. You could be honest. You could be like, this is a perfectly average day. And I'll believe you. And I'll believe you. Okay. What even are my lurks right now? Not accurate is the answer to mine own question. Mine own question? Yarm. Misfire is live. What the? In what world is Misfire live? In what world? That's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. Yay. I think we're there then. I think we've arrived. I think we've managed the bare minimum, y'all. Greetings, salutations, all. It's very good to see you. I'm gonna pour something right away because any liquid right now is welcome because it's friggin' hot. I complained about it in my Go Live. If you weren't there, you missed out about the complaining. Yes, you're hearing complaining now. Yeah, I know. But it's not as good as the complaining would be. You know what I'm saying? You could have had double the complaining. Double! Think of it. Think of double the complaining. Right now, you're only getting a single dose of it. And that's ridiculous. That's absurd. So, all right. So, gang. Components of an ideal talk. 3 of them. We don't get to have number 2. Still not set up for Shigars. Still not set up. But element number 1, good drinks. I'm having the Scarabus. I got robbed of it last time. This time, we're having the Scarabus. So, by all means, let me know in chat what it is you are partaking of for element number 1, good drink. Good drink. I'm going to be having the Scarabus. Doesn't need to be alcoholic, but you tell me what you've got. What you've got in the...
As far back as I can remember, I always
Nugs!
wanted to be a kid.
Hello! Well, it's good to see you, Nugs. How you doing? How's stuff? How are things? How's life treating you? Welcome on in. Follows me in a lot. I tell you guys all the time, unfollow if you think I've not earned it. Unfollow if you think I've not maintained my side of the bargain of trying to create something worthy of you. And then refollow. Refollow if you think I'm doing an okay job again. Be scrupulous, you know? Be shrewd about this and be choosy. You can be choosy. All right. So, welcome on in. Welcome. Yes, let me know what you've got for element number 1 in the chat. We're going to be flying because I was a whole 10 minutes behind. Don't want to be ridiculous. I'm going to be having this Scarabus, and then we're gonna get a little bit of bottle asthma in here for you guys. That's what we're going to do. A little bit of bottle asthma because there you go. Wow. That was Did you hear that? How did that come through on the other side? How was that, gang? That's actually kind of nutty. A little bit. All right, a little bottle asthma. Little bit of Scatibus for the night. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Big fan. Big fan of the Scatibus. We'll do that. Park that right there. That's pretty, right? That's kind of pretty. It's kind of nice. Okay, it's not as pretty as I would like. Whatever. Whatever. We've got our Scatibus. We've got our Scatibus. Young, hence the color. Hence the color on this one, but a youngin. And then no cigar tonight, but element number 3, dear friends. This is where each week I come empty-handed, and that's because element number 3 of an ideal talk of a Friday evening is good company. And dear God, am I grateful that you've supplied that. It means an awful heckin' lot. Again, especially given that you could be spending a Friday eve doing any old thing, any old where, and yet here you are, rushing headlong into hard mode business, and that means no small amount to me. So, grateful to have you guys be a part of this thing, and it is to that very caliber of human who would embrace the difficulty of hard mode. Not for nothing, but because it matters. It's to you that I get to raise my first glass of the evening. So cheers to you, you lovely lot. Yep. Frickin' yummy. Frickin' yummy. Especially for how young it is. I've told you this, guys. I've told you this before. I've had a couple of the youngins that are way less harsh than, say, the Beastie back here. Where are you, whatever, it's behind me. The Beastie. For a youngin, that one's hot as hell. It's not wrong with a cigar. Like, that one's great with a cigar because it can stand up to the smoke, and you need something that can stand up to, especially the darker tobaccos. But this one's good all-rounder. Very good, very good. Especially if you like antiseptic. All of you non-whiskey folk out there like... Yes, antiseptic. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one you're after. Still freaking yummy. Alright. Yes, greetings. Yes, very good to see you. I'm not gonna... I may not stay in the jacket. I'm not gonna lie. It's hot. It's toasty. I don't like it. I don't like it, Jasper. No, I don't. It's friggin' warm. It's March. It's supposed to be snow on the ground. It's supposed to be blizzards. Where be the blizzards? Point them out. Where they at? Where they at? I don't got them. I'm over here with this freaking toasty business. Guys, it's 85 degrees outside right now. 8-5. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Those are all my complaints about the weather. We got that out of the way. All right, onward. Onward. Let me catch up. Mel, hello, Mel. Very good to see you. All platforms, I appreciate you. Cuddle. Madame. Very good. Very good to see you. I hope that you will. I hope that you will. Johnny. Oh, wow. On YouTube land, we love to see it. Look at that. Look at that spread loading. Guys, it's true. We're on Rumble, Twitch, and YouTube. We're all over the place. We are all over the place. Pretty cool. I believe that this project is too important to put all your eggs in one basket, so we are definitely multi-streaming to all the heckin' places. So, welcome on in, welcome, Ryu. It's good to see you, good sir. I hope that you're well. If you're still here, my dude, read your DMs. It's like, Ryu! Ryu, where are you? Oh, God. I hope you are having a fantastic Friday. It's good to see you, sir. Good to see you, and I hope you are enjoying the game. Hope you are enjoying the game. Gang, everybody's playing that freaking game right now. Everybody. Mouse! Oh, hello, Mouse. Thank you for calling out, Mouse. I appreciate it. I don't think it took. I think it broke. It broke for them. We're gonna try again. All right, try again. That was before. We got to call out the good doctor. Good doctor. Good to see you. Good to see you. But Mouse's was before I fixed the Twitch thing. So, yeah. Hi, Mouse. Very good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Was wrapping up work stuff. Oh, now I'm ragdoll on the couch, having been up since 3:30 a.m. That's too early. Stop that. Music is making me wish I had started practicing piano 6 years ago when I bought one. Yeah, twinsies. Twinsies. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Mafia. Good evening, Pre. Welcome, welcome. Hi, EOC. Wow, you hear that? EOC. I don't know this nickname. Currently absolutely fighting with my stream. Donut fight? Donut fight with it? That's crazy. That counts as self-promo. Ski, it's good to see you. I saw it. I saw so much pasta. That's called living, my friend. That's called living. And you have my envy. Yes, you do. Way overdue for cortisol injections. Pain trumps sleep. Boo! Hoping to get approved for different procedure. It's supposed to last 5 years. I have a friend who just went through that. Got it. Kodo! And it's a man. Good to see you, Kodo. Welcome in. Welcome. I hope that you are well. Hope that you're doing so gosh darn good. It cracked me up that you refused to pick up that osprey last night. He's like, I brought this for you. And you're like, I don't want it. I didn't get to see how that turned out. Did you end up needing it? Would it have been nice to have? Kodo, welcome. Jar! It's good to see you, brother. Welcome in, sir. Welcome. Kitty! Boo! I don't know if that was boo like we're being very spoopy or like boo! Boo! Because both are funny. As in surprise and alarm. I love that you followed it with which one. It's like you knew I was gonna say that. You know I know I've known Kitty for a while, you guys. You know I know. She anticipated me making a mockery of it. She knew. She knew better. Kitty, your big brain, it's showing. Like the black and blue, except for where it's bruises. No, like those. And I am a banana. That's right. That's right. That's an internet reference, you guys. It's true. For the lore! Yeah, I decided we were going to go dark and deep tonight because the topic is dark and deep tonight. Kind of. No, it definitely is. You'll see. You'll see. S'mores! Damn, it's very good to see you. And? Are we out? How we doing? How we feeling? How we living? What's going on? Fingers were crossed. Drinking coffee? Squirrel, it's good to see you, sir. Good to see you indeed. He's got coffee for element number 1, gang. Very good. Don't have good drink, but made some damn good pasta, baby. I know, it sounds fabulous. I love it. Cherry Pepsi for Kitty. Okay. Luke, I am your father. Welcome in person. His name I missed. That's a pretty label. Oh, for the Scarabus? Yeah, big fan. Big fan. Oh, you heard it. Hell yeah, Ski. Hell yeah. It was a squeaker. It's okay. Not as pretty as I would like either. Cakes assorted. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome in. Welcome. Just finished a virtual speaking engagement, so this is refreshing. Oh my gosh. And yet, now I'm in a virtual speaking engagement of sorts. Does you mean like a work thing? In which case, ooh, I'm so sorry, S'mores. I'm so sorry. But I'm glad to have you here. Ugh. Just gonna drop this now, considering how far behind he already is. Alright. Me behind? No. But big thanks to the public patrons, the folks who have sacrificed to give this thing a shot at the future. It's true. The folks who have sacrificed either on Rumble, on Coffee, on Patreon. Thank you guys. In particular, extra thanks are due to Aki, Dano, Leanne, Goose, Kira, Abby, Tink, Helly, May, Karma, Pencil. Oh! Get to say it. I got to say it. We got to put his name on the list. We got to call him out. Pencil, baby. And Pre and Retro, Rick, Ryan, Mouse, Trosky, Pell, CJ number 1, and Sir Zin. That's right. He's a Knigget, it turns out. Turns out someone put a sword on one of his shoulders, and then they put that same sword on his other shoulder. And that makes you a knight. It turns out. So, yeah. That gentleman, that's the one. But yeah, we get to call out the dude, one of us. Pretty heckin' great. Gots to say. And Panda, love you, Gus, love you, Panda. No, you. Very good to see you. No blizzards, boo. No, we want them. Send them here, Ski. Send them here. Was waiting here, hot bride yell, woo, at the mention of taking off the jacket, yeah.
Life, I don't apologize
Oh,
to take care of my family. And I refuse to be a fool.
First of all, the word wrapping. It's still mind-breaking to me that that's been like a month and they haven't fixed the word wrapping. That's... like, it might just be like a little cosmetic thing to them, but kind of a big deal on stream, you know what I'm saying? Trotsky!
I work my whole life. I don't apologize to take care of my family. And I refuse to be a fool. Dancing on the string held by all those big shots.
What am I supposed to do with you? What? Thank you. Golly. Unbelievable. 5 reasons to live life on hard mode over here in Rumble. That's right. Gang, we are indeed multi-streaming. It's true. The stream is going to the same places. Rumble has the least amount of lag, and it's the one with emotes, because I don't have emotes on Twitch. Because I didn't sign Twitch's contract, because it's a terrible contract. So, anyways, you get emotes on Rumble even if you don't sign anything. You just get them. Kind of cool. So, I got a whole pile of them in there. I hope you like them. I hope you like them. Golly, thank you, Trotsky. 5 whole heckin' gifted. I swear. I swear. And to all of you who make this possible, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for calling out Trotsky. I appreciate it. Very important to call out that gentleman, Mel. Thank you. We got... Who all got hooked up? Mouse got one, Jar got one, and Ryu got one. Bet. Bet. That means there's 2 more, you guys. 2 more gifted subs on Rumble. If you don't have one, just go say something in Rumble chat and you'll pick up one of them too. But it's first come, first serve. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go. Unbelievable. Woo. Yeah, no. Hot Bride is busy doing all kinds of things. Running around, Mal. She do be busy. 85 is incredibly toasty, especially for March. That's what I'm saying. For March. 85, no humidity. That's true. That's true. So it's not nearly as bad as what y'all live in. Like, most everybody, like, that I know lives somewhere that's not the West Coast. Like, Trotsky is also, like, West Coast, but where he lives is, like, typically wetter than here. So, like, this is very dry. I don't know very many of you who live in a clime like this one, where everything is very dry and really mild. Like, the only place that's, like, comparable to this is, like, San Diego, California. Reno, Nevada, San Diego, California. Kind of it. In terms of, like, dry and, like, pretty temperate. Now, here we do get a little bit colder, certainly, than San Diego ever gets. But during the warmer months, we're pretty close to, like, San Diego. The high desert here. Everywhere else, y'all can keep it. No, thank you. You keep your humidity. You take that way the hell over there. Way the hell over there. Oh, kept trying to get me to kill people. I saw, Kodo. I saw something about you'll need this to shoot. What was it? What did he say? What did he say? Human-shaped arc? Is that what I heard? Is that what I heard him say, Kodo? He's like, yes, yeah, the arc that are the new ones that are in the shape of people. Mm-hmm. I knew it. I should have trusted you from the beginning, Kodo. Should have trusted you from the beginning when you were like, don't listen to Troy out here moitering folks. Don't listen to Troy out here instigating. Troy is the one moitering lobbies. I should have listened. I was wrong. Glad your friend got it done. Few folks here now have gotten it with good results. Oh, yeah, with the... instead of the shots, yeah. I'm too long of a story. I hope that it works out with you, too. Jeez. Coffee here. Jar's got coffee. Bet. Lock it in with the coffee. We love that. Assorted cakes. What are you drinking? What you got, friendo? What you sipping on? Oh, I am home. Oh, s'mores. It's so friggin' exciting. Got home Monday afternoon. Was able to keep my virtual speaking engagement today, but I won't make my singing engagement next month. Why? Follow-up? Or, like, do you have to reschedule something? What the heck? Why the heck? I'm so happy that you're home, though. That's very exciting indeed. Congratulations. But yes, I have streamed a few times this week. Oh, got rendered speechless yesterday on stream. Can't relate. So that was a wild time. Chat left me in tears. Good tears. And without words. Yep, I cannot relate. It's a disability of mine. It runs and runs and runs. Something like the Energizer Bunny, but less pink and not so bunny. What? What? Hello? Police? The missing snow. Wow. Okay. Listen. I didn't even see what the message said. Been a minute. While you have never formally charged to protect your people, such a gift should not go unappreciated. Thank you for all you do, Sir Gus. Cheers. Thank you. That's exactly the face I'm making, Mel. That's exactly the one. Thank you, Missing Snow. And Trotsky and troublemakers all. Y'all, I'm just doing my best out here. I'm just a guy. I'm just a man. Doing my best. Thank you. Hopefully tonight is worthy of you. Hopefully tonight is something that you guys can extract value from. That is certainly the hope. It's going to be a bit spicy. As threatened. It's going to be a bit spicy. Tonight's going to be a little bit of hard mode. A little bit. Hold on to your apple carts. Thank you again for calling out Trotsky, Mel. I remember what I was. Okay, s'mores. Super glad that you're back. Crazy. I would say keep quiet and enjoy it, but we know you won't do the first part. That is facts. See? Squirrel's known me for a little while. Squirrel knows about my disability. He knows it. Only on PC, Rumble Mobile is struggle. Yeah, that's... Rumble Mobile do be struggle sometimes. Sometimes. Thank you for the alert. I appreciate you as a kiss. I hope that you're well, brother. I hope that you're doing all right out there, dude. I hope that you're doing okay. Started raining here. Oh, I'm jealous. I'm jealous. I believe so. Yeah, he did say that, Kodo. He did say that. Human-shaped arc. And I'm like, trouble. He's a rabble-rouser. Caleb! It's good to see you, Caleb. Welcome on in. Welcome, welcome. I hope that you're doing all right. I hope that you're doing all right. I have ink staining my fingers. Because a certain thing arrived, or I went and picked up a certain thing. I've got ink staining my fingies. Thank you, sir. It's good to have you in. And I'm grateful. Grateful indeed. Keeps going and going. Pink bunny. Yeah, that's the one. That's what I was saying. Yeah, the flapping the gums. A little less pink, a little less bunny. Absolutely feral. My pulmonologist can't clear me to sing at the capacity that I need. Oh, okay. Hopefully I can make the next singing thing in May. And yes, I can normally talk for hours and hours, but my chat raised $1,300 for me to put toward my medical bills. Having a bit of a hard time over here with that. Set up a coffee and didn't expect anything. Oh, my mod caught hold of it and chat through that my way while I was streaming. That's really cool, S'mores. That's really cool. Congratulations to you. Yeah, that's, I mean, I'm over here struggling with 5 gifted and $100, $125 that is not a small chunk of change. So $1,300, yeah, that's, that ain't nothing. I really hope you get to make it to the next singing thing. Hope the pulmonologist is like, listen, it's good. Pulmonologist, like, why wouldn't they want you to exercise your lungs? I'm confusion. Wouldn't they want you to do all that? Wouldn't they want you to get them reps in? Because it's good for you? Because it makes you stronger? Wouldn't they? I am puzzled. I have questions. Listen, I'm not a hashtag real doctor. Not like Doc here. Not like Pre. Not like Pre. Send him your medical questions, you guys. He loves it when I say that. So I don't know. Just a little bit. Where's the fun in just a little? Because moderation or I don't know, something, Caleb. I don't know. Well, look, you're speechless too. Okay, listen. Share stream for smooches once you're caught up. Oh my gosh. Did you hear the woohoo? Did you guys hear it? There was a woohoo. Very well, Mel. Very well. Chair stream for smooches. Gang, now's a good opportunity for you to avail yourself of the facilities if you must needs. Grab yourself some anti-tilt if you lack it. And then when we come back, we're going to jump right in, you guys. I'm going to be missing some stuff and things. I hope you guys will help me out in greeting folks, welcoming new joins perhaps, answering any questions, pointing people to our resources, whatever the heck may come. Because we're going to launch in. We're going to launch into the lecture on empathy. And it's going to be something. It's going to be spicier than you might think. I don't know how spicy you're expecting, but spicier than that. Spicier than that. You're like, why? Empathy? I don't... Come and see. Alright. Take care. Take care, chair. Hello, we back. Howdy. How's you? Did you guys get to use the restroom? Was that too fast? Was that too little time? Were you able to go? Were you able to avail yourself of the facilities? Also, yeah, if you haven't told me what you got for element number 1, let me know what you're drinking. Let me know what you're drinking. Doesn't need to be alcoholic. Something, though. Let me know before we jump on in. And I have to miss all of what the heck is going on with chat. Because I'm going to miss it. And I'm going to miss it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Woo! I heard it. Trotsky. I heard it. Mel says, I heard it. Ha ha, pride. There's a difference between exercise and usage. And then full capacity belting and singing. Full capacity for at least an hour. Okay. So one is like pushing it, I suppose. So one would be exercise. Hooray. The other is taxing the system beyond what it can handle. Like, I don't... Would it be harmful or just tiring? I guess is my sort of my question. Like, do you damage? Like, I'm betraying my ignorance, S'mores. Forgive me. So if I sit here and I talk too much, do you see what I did? If I sit here and I talk too much, and I talk for I talk for 14 hours every Wednesday, but say I talked for 48 hours straight or something like that. Okay, I don't know. Would that damage me in some way? Would I be harmed by it? Because to my mind, sort of worst case scenario is I would lose my voice and I would need to, rest for a day or two, and then my voice would be back, sort of deal. I don't understand how that doesn't work with, like, singing. That's sort of my question. Like, you lose your voice, sure, Or is it like you wouldn't be able to make it through the singing start to finish because you'd lose your voice somewhere in the middle of it because you're not there yet? Like, what's the harm? Like, does it damage? Like, is this permanent harm we're talking about here? I don't know. That's what I'm questioning. You don't have to answer all my questions, S'mores. You've dealt with enough of my ridiculous and my chicanery. I'm a curious fellow. Curiouser and curiouser in more ways than one. In more ways than one, I'm a curious fellow. Cherry is a caring sort. It's true. It's true. Better stationery than the one that came with the quill and sealing wax set. Oh, came with one piece of stationery that says Paris. Drawing of the Eiffel Tower. Ink bleeds a bit. And as a test, I wrote next to the Eiffel Tower, Rana be here. That's hilarious. That's hilarious, Caleb. Yeah, no, I didn't even know it until I was done handling it. And I was I think I was drinking water, and I like went up to like drink the water, and I saw on my thumb, and I'm like, hello, police? And it was like I was going for a fingerprinting. It's like I was going to get my fingerprinting done at the sheriff's station or something like that. I was just like, it was cracking me up. But no, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. That's so much. Hot Pride, same thing. We're both like, holy, high effort, Batman. That's wild. So, absolutely wild. What'd you think of the opening joke? Oh, that was pretty funny. The calculations, that was good. And according to and I was like, she didn't get it. I got it. I was like, that's Back to the Future. I love it. 88 mph. Let's go. 1.21 gigawatts. I've done it. Chair's so fresh. Can't believe he just sat there and offended me. I don't know what you're talking about, Kitty. Were there witnesses? Got as far as the ceiling on my way to the water closet. Got as far as the ceiling. Oh, okay. I got you. We got there. Got to the ceiling. It's good. That's good. And then you made it back. Good to have you back. Good to have you back. Interesting questions. Yeah, I don't understand things, Kodo. I ask so many questions. I just want to understand. Diesel! Oh my gosh! It's good to see you, Diesel. How the heck have you been? How did... February. Yeah, I didn't see you for February either. How'd February treat you, Diesel? Oh, my word. I hope that you're well. I hope that you're doing all right. My goodness gracious. What are you going to do for Arbor Day? Work is my default answer to every question about every time of the year, every day. What are you going to do on Columbus Day? Work. What are you going to do on Labor Day? Work. What are you going to do on Christmas Day? Work. What are you going to do on New Year's Day? Work. What are you going to do on Halloween Day? Work. What are you going to do on Easter? Work. Work. What are you going to do on your birthday? Work. What are you going to do on your anniversary? Work. What are you going to do on Earth Day? Work. The day doesn't matter. Work. Work. That's what we're going to do. How you doing, Diesel? How's you? Y'all saw, right? Stand for it. I don't know, Kitty. I don't know. Sounds kind of crazy. Sounds kind of crazy to me. Is a 1984 reference? Oh, yeah. I got that. I mean, one could say it's a 1984 reference, but you could also say it's a core math reference or just a modernity reference. So, yeah. Okay, it's a few parts here. Oh, bet. S'mores has intel. Okay. Permanent lung damage due to sarcoidosis. I've never, nailed it. Okay, sarcoidosis. That's the one. Lung stiffness and other issues that can cause more pain and damage if I'm not prepared for it. Sarcoidosis is defined by the granulomas in my lungs. Okay. When irritated, they basically try to drown me. Oh! For lack of better terms. Okay. Still coughing, not fully recovered. So not only do I lack the breath support to sustain notes, I can make things worse if I push it too hard too much. Thank you. That makes a lot of sense then, S'mores. That tracks. Okay. Do you have, by the way, an incentives barometer? Is that something that they're doing over there because you're doing stuff with lungs? I know what an incentives barometer is because Hot Bride's a nurse. She worked in neuro, and we had to have one, ironically, for her when she went through all of her stuff. So we still have several of them lying around. The incentives barometer, if you guys aren't familiar. It's basically like this vacuum thing that you're supposed to like inhale through this tube, and it measures sort of effectively the power and capacity of your lungs. That's sort of the deal. So, anyways, do you have one of those? Thank you for the explanation. I appreciate that was probably a pain in the ass to type out for little old me, but I am grateful. Grateful, new friend. Yes, I am. I've been super busy. Twinsies, Diesel. Twinsies. I feel that. I feel that in my everywhere. I fell asleep in my chair twice. Yesterday and today. Pretty ridiculous. Pretty ridiculous. The bear! Love the blue ensemble. All of the Thai French kisses of 18. 18 of them. My goodness gracious. Thank you. Thank you, my friend, and it's very good to have you. Very good to have you indeed. Yeah, I was decided to go for the blue today. I was like, yeah. We'll make it kind of springy, I guess. Like wintry springy. But it's like 85 degrees outside, so I'm like, why am I wearing a jacket? This was a mistake. So I have regrets. I do. I know everybody out there like, no regrets. I have regrets. Enough of the 4-letter words, Gus. Wow. What about a 3-letter word? Wow. Chair told me he would grab me by the seat of my pants. That's crazy. Actually, I think that's what all chairs say, kitty. I think that's sort of their default. I could be wrong here, but I believe that's sort of like what chairs do. Could be misunderstanding. I think this could be all a big misunderstanding, though. I think we can clear this up by, yeah. You think my overuse of alliteration is cheesy? I want to say... no, because it takes thoughtful effort to alliterate, you know? So, I don't think it's cheesy in any case. I think it's fun. Wordplay is always fun. It's always fun. I put stickers all over my spirometer. Hey. I have a star chart, not gonna lie. I am a child. I meant mentally. I knew what you meant. That is super funny. Super funny. But I also am like, oh yeah, I guess Twitch, yeah, that's funny. No, yeah, I am a child. That's hilarious. Okay, so gang, as we kick this thing off, I would be remiss if I didn't point you guys in the direction of Rumble Premium. All of you guys who have tabs open, I am grateful as heck to all of yous who are supporting on Rumble. You got a tab open. I get paid just for having a tab open on Rumble, you guys. It means an awful heckin' lot. So big thanks to everybody who is, especially those of you with multiple tabs open. You've got one on Twitch, you got one on Rumble. Some of you even have one on YouTube up. That's kind of crazy cool of you. All of you who've watched the shorts and the long form videos that have been rolling out on both platforms, on Rumble and YouTube, thank you guys. It means an awful heckin' lot. Again, one of the best ways to support this project is Rumble Premium. They take $0. So if you're like, I don't know Rumble, I don't trust Rumble, I don't know anything about this company, why would I? They take nothing. The payment processor takes 3% for processing the amount. Rumble takes 0. I don't think it'll always stay that way. In fact, if I have my guess, I'm going to guess that in 2026 that's going to change. I think that's going to happen this year because Rumble is growing in a big fat friggin' hurry. And I think this was all a lost lead program. I'm certain that it's a lost lead program. So I think that's going to change. So for all of you who have supported through Rumble, thank you guys like crazy. In particular, the folks who've used my link for Rumble Premium. If you want a discount code, if you want to sign up for the annual, if you want to do that and support this project, I'm going to put a discount code on screen right now. Okay, there's going to be a QR code that's going to pop up so you can get your phone ready or whatever it is. And you can use the QR code for a $10 discount on that thing. And yeah, so that's how this project gets paid for. Any good that comes from this can be traced right back to all of you lovely lot sacrificing to make it happen. So I'm going to run this thing and then we're going to jump on in. What do you say? QR code? Yeah. This whole project is funded by viewers like you, folks who have voted with their wallets and sacrificed to give this thing a shot at a future. If you're not already a member, you click that button to sign up. $99 a year for the discounted rate or $9.99 a month if you don't want to go for the annual just yet. You get the entire experience ad-free, plus access to exclusive content not just on this channel, but on every channel on Rumble. It's also one of the best options to support this channel and my work. So if I've been a value add to your life, consider joining up today using that link below. Yeah. Oh, I've got the light on my face still. I gotta back up a little. I still haven't done anything with the light coming through. I'm not used to it being the middle of the freaking day when I stream. It's throwing me off is what it's doing. It's throwing me off. We don't like it. We don't like it. Okay, so tonight, oh my gosh, look who it is. It's Mom of Gus and Paw. How you doing, gang? It's good to see you. Welcome on in. Welcome, welcome. I hope that you guys are doing all right. Guys, guess what? That one right there, Mom of Gus. Guess who that is? Guess who that is? You have to guess though. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna give any hints. I'm not gonna give any hints of who that is. Oh my word. Hello. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing all right. Unless you're not wearing pants, but let's not go into details. Listen, I've stood up once already, squirrel. Unbelievable. That's true. That's true. In this case, the chair would be grabbing the pants side of things. You right. You right. You're right. Chairs have your back. That's true. As a matter of definitions, they do. Do I see Gus's mom? Maybe. Maybe, Mel. Maybe. I don't know. Thank you for sharing your wonderful son with us. Aw, freaking daw. Thanks. That's sweet. Doing amazing beyond amazing. Most amazing birthday today with my boyfriend. Oh, I had the most amazing birthday ever. Really? Well, that's super cool. I love that for you, Pa. I love that. Happy birthdays all around. That's pretty darn slick. Love to hear it. Love to hear it, my friend. I'm glad that your Friday's being kind. Hopefully I can add a little something to it. Hopefully I can, like, you know, not be a total drain on what is otherwise a fabulous day. Hell, maybe just, like, call it quits and go to sleep for the day. So you could put a nice pretty bow on it and be like, nope, it was a perfect day before Gus ruined it. Hi. No, I'm glad. Very glad, sir. Glad to have you. Hearts from Mom of Gus. Kobe! Good to see you, Kobe. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. All right, gang. We're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. Some of the difficulty, okay? To the difficulty. Tonight, we're going to talk about empathy. And it's going to be an important night. It's going to be an important talk. This is going to be some clarification on some things. But also, I want to teach you guys about a really, really helpful and meaningful shortcut toward good faith negotiation and good faith humaning. And effective humaning, I'll say. And it's no small thing. We have no shortage of folks who have wondered and been puzzled by how the heck to relate to someone who's other. Even if you wanted to. Even if you might have the best of intentions, but there's a lot of question about how. The how of all this. I'm going to be talking about that tonight. And I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet. Yes, despite my penchant for hours and hours of droning on, tonight is going to be somewhat shorter. Well, I have a lot to say, but I'm going to try and say it all rather quickly. That's to say that. And then I'm going to cut you guys loose somewhat early, so people like Paul can enjoy the rest of their day and not have it upended by the likes of me. So, yeah. Even got to sing Happy Birthday with my parents and my sister. Aww. Cute, Pa. Cute. I'm glad. I'm glad. All right. Now, for the duration of this thing, y'all, I am going to disable raids. So I got to go in and do that really fast. We'll go set that up. We'll get the banner running along the bottom of the screen here. We're going to disable raids on Twitch. Denied. And on Rumble. Over here, change the settings. Update and disabled. Okay. Raids are now disabled. We're locked in, gang. We are in the shoot for this thing. We're going to give it an honest go. Again, I'd be grateful to all of you who field chat. If something crazy comes up, I'd be grateful for you guys handling some of that while I am not seeing it, because I'm going to be focusing on my lecture material so that I don't get too far off into the heckin' weeds, as you guys know I am wont to do. So I'm going to sort of hold forth to keep all of these ideas coherent and not lose my place. So, be grateful to have you guys follow along with my string of thinking here. And then, see how it goes. See how it goes. Okay. Empathy. I'm going to teach you guys a lot about this thing and clear up some misconceptions. There's a whole lot of ground to cover, so we're going to be schmoovin'. First, empathy starts with, it's not to do with empathy itself, but the practice of it has some prereqs. There are prerequisites to this, so we're going to cover some. We're going to cover some ground with this, okay? And as a prerequisite to empathy, you kind of need to be okay yourself. Now, I'm about to dispel something where a bunch of you just started nodding and nodding and nodding and saying, this is my get out of jail free card because I don't have all the things in my life put together, and therefore I can't be expected to... Hold your horses. Empathy starts with one's own health. This is the phrase I've employed elsewhere many times. I say, like on the airlines, right? You start with your own oxygen mask first. Yeah? You're like, yeah, that's what I was saying. My own oxygen mask. My own oxygen mask first. What does first imply? That it's the first in a string. String of what? Something else. Something is going to follow. It's not your own oxygen mask. The end. Your own oxygen mask, full stop. Your own oxygen mask exclusively. It's your own oxygen mask first. Now, not your own oxygen mask only. Why put on the oxygen mask? Obviously, sure, in an airplane, you are going to have a want, especially if you're a parent out there. That's why they show this all the time in those videos on the airlines. It's you putting on your own oxygen mask first while your kid is sitting in the, like your young child is sitting in the chair next to you. You put on your own oxygen mask, and then you help them with theirs. We've talked before, why not start with them? You care about your child, you want to protect your child, you freak out a little bit, so you want to put the oxygen mask on the child. What if the pressure drop is so significant that you black out in the middle of putting that mask on them? The child doesn't know how to don an oxygen mask well or correctly. That's why the informational video is for the adults, okay? And so if the child were left to their own devices, they'll just die. Okay, that's no good. You don't want that, they don't want that, that's no good. So you trying to put it on them and then blacking out, you've doomed you both. Both of you are screwed now, okay? So that's why you start with yours. Well, what if they black out while I'm putting on mine? That's okay, they're just unconscious, they're not dead. Once the oxygen starts flowing again, they'll wake up and they'll be okay. All right? So first you put on yours. To what end? So that now you can be helpful to others. You're no good to others if you are actively blacking out and dying. Do you follow? You tracking? If you are blacked out because you are in such a state of disarray, if you are in such a state, if you are such a train wreck, you can't be beneficial to others. You can't be. But that is a exceptional position. That is not the norm. That is not what one can expect as a matter of course. And that is not a position, a status to sit in for all of one's life. Teetering on catastrophe. That is not living. That's not health. But also, we talked about prerequisites to empathy. I'm not talking about just general well-being. For empathy. So, okay, your own oxygen mask first, so that you can be a benefit to others who are teetering on catastrophe. All right. Are you thrilled in this story? If you're flying on an airplane, regardless of whether or not you've got people next to you, and there's some sort of drop in pressure, whatever it is, and oxygen masks fall from the ceiling, are you thrilled? Do you love this spot that you're in? Is it just your best day? Are you like gonna do a highlight reel about this? And my Instagram story, oh my gosh, and this is when the oxygen masks dropped. Ah, my favorite part of the flight, honestly. Is this part of your highlight reel? For your day, for your week, for your life? In a scenario like this, when everything's gone wrong, and emergency measures, life-saving measures are required, how are you doing? Not great, right? Duh. As a matter of course, you're not doing great. It's not your best moment. It's not your best day. And yet, the expectation of the airline in this case, and of me, and of society, is that you will perform anyways. That you parents out there with a young child next to you in that chair, per that informational video, are going to, in your bad moment, in the most stressful, nerve-wracking, put you on edge thing that's happened to you perhaps ever, oxygen mask, drop it down, you are going to take appropriate measures to put on your mask, and then render assistance to others. That's the expectation of the world. That's the expectation of society. If you are a member of a society, that's an expectation of you. A plane is kind of like that. It's kind of a society. It's not a big society, but it is a society. It's a community. A temporary community. All of you are on an island, as it were, together. For a finite amount of time, whatever. You are a community. And that community breaks down if people are unwilling to obey the rules of that community. The rules, norms, and expectations of that society. All societies start small, and then we scale up. Okay? And that's where a bunch of the complexity comes in, a lot more moving parts. But in one as small as an airplane, it's very easy for that thing to go super wrong and super sideways, because there are fewer people for any one person to go, this is your problem, not mine. In a giant society, say the size of the United States, it's very, very easy for any one person to go, all the rest of them will take care of it. That's called diffusion of responsibility. We've talked about that before. That's the technical term. That is a scaled thing, which is the more people there are that you could pass responsibility off to, the less likely you are to do anything yourself. If you're in a group with 5 people, just by yourself somewhere, and someone passes out, gets hurt, something like that, there's 4 of you looking at the person on the ground, looking at each other, and there's an expectation. You guys are it. Someone's got to do something. If it's just you and a friend, you're it, and you know it. And you are likely to act. Yes, you may yet go into shock and all that, but this is the most likely you will ever be to act if it's just you and one other person. But then you add another person, and all of a sudden it's, either of us could call the cops. Either of us could call an ambulance. Either of us could render CPR. Why don't you do it? It immediately goes down. So then you get up to 5 people. You're far less to do something when there are 4 others who could, 3 others who could, 10 others, 20. In a society of hundreds of millions of people, it's really easy to go, this is someone else's fault. Or it's someone else's responsibility. Someone else will pick up the tab. Someone else will pay the price. Someone else. We can just spread load this. Someone else will absorb the hit. I can't. Someone else will, though. There's lots of people out there. Listen, I'm not in a great place right now. Other people who are in a fine, they're in a great place perhaps, let them deal with it. You're on a plane. How many people can fit on a plane? Depends on the size of the plane, of course. So you're on a commercial liner. You got a couple hundred people maybe on that plane. That's a small society, a small tribe. There aren't a ton of people for you to push the responsibility off onto. What if it's a prop plane? There's even fewer people for you to push the responsibility off onto. The expectation of anyone in any community, any functioning community, any healthy community, is that you will do your part to, 1, get stable yourself. Get okay yourself. Get out of emergency survival mode yourself. And then render assistance to others. Now, will you sometimes be the one that goes into shock and needs help from others? Yep. But that if that is a recurring theme, if that is you all the time, then the responsibility for the lack of health in the given community is on you. You wear the weight of that. Now, must everybody contribute in exactly the same way in every society? Of course not. This is the biggest asterisk of all, right? Not everybody does everything. Not everybody is qualified to do every little thing. Not everybody is physically capable, trained, equipped, certified. Not everybody is in a position to do all those things. Certainly not. Easiest examples in the world, right? Someone's got to do some heavy lifting, physical heavy lifting, and you were born without arms. It's okay that you're not doing the physical heavy lifting. But you do need to contribute in some other way. You do need to put in what you can, how you can. That's true of all of us. What about, okay, fine, guys, you ain't got arms or legs. How are you going to contribute? In some other way. You've got a mind, don't you? Perhaps you've got wit. Perhaps you've got a good sense of humor. Perhaps you're a motivational speaker, like that one gentleman who was born without either arms or legs. Motivational speaker, reaches millions of people, has touched millions of lives. What's your excuse? So, no, we don't all do the same things. We don't all contribute the same things. But a healthy member of a community of any size does contribute something. Now, tonight, am going to talk about what it means to do that with empathy. This has all been about empathy. We don an oxygen mask ourselves in order to help others. So if you just put on your mask, if that's all you ever do, that's all you ever do is just put on your mask, and you go, listen, I just got to take care of me, then you kind of suck right now. That's meant to be an encouragement, incidentally. This isn't a permanent state. At least it's not supposed to be. It doesn't have to be. But if all you ever say is, this is about me, everything is about me, all the time. I heard a phrase yesterday. I heard someone look at somebody and examine something and say, shook their head at egregious behavior, okay? I'll leave it at that. Egregious behavior. And they went, I suppose there's somebody out there for everybody, right? There's someone out there for everyone, meaning that this person, too, even they could have like a meaningful romantic relationship, right? Nope. I disagree. I disagree with the premise. I disagree with the presupposition. I disagree. Not as is. That is. There's someone out there for everyone. Not as is. There isn't. As is. As you are. If you're insufferable, truly insufferable, and selfish, and you are currently, incapable of serving others, of benefiting others, of contributing in some form or fashion, you don't bring any value add to any others, then there isn't someone out there for you. You will need to change first. And for some folks, that is going to be a huge amount of work in order to change enough that there will indeed be someone out there for you. But the baseline expectation, the entitlement that says, no, the world needs to adapt to me, is fundamentally flawed, and it's why we have so many people who are miserable and alone. The world does not need to adapt to you. You are part of a society. There are rules and expectations for any society of any size. And you can say all day long till you're blue in the face, no, the society needs to change. It's wrong. I alone am right. You're going to be alone and miserable. Notice that has nothing to do with your expectations for how the world ought to work. Notice how I didn't say you are wrong in your approach to the world, in your prescriptions for the world, in your diagnosis of the world. Notice I didn't say that. I said you're going to be alone. Being a part of society, being a functional member of society, means functioning in such a way that the society will have you. Again, there is an expectation with the diffusion of responsibility that, there's plenty of people out there who can handle all those details. I'll just be along for the ride. A super healthy and robust society can eat that. For a little while, yes. It can bear the brunt. It can pay your way. That's true. For a while. Not forever, though. Not forever. Especially as societies are smaller. So, you get to a family unit. Can the family bear every financial burden? Nope. Can't do it. Can a community group bear every single financial hit? Nope. At some point, you can't just spread load and expect someone else to lift. Everyone else needs to change for me. We're going to get to empathy. How do you know in what ways you ought to change or flex or adapt? How do you know what the expectations are of your society? How do you know what makes you an acceptable member of a group? How do you know whether or not you'll be allowed to join this group and to remain amongst them? How do you know? That begins with empathy. It doesn't end with empathy, but it begins with empathy. I'm going to talk through several terms, in fact, that make you a considerate person. We started talking about this last week, what it means to be considerate, to consider the experiences of others, to how you're going to discern a stick from a snake and all that jazz, right? Okay, well, what does it mean to be someone that is considerate? Because considerate people are often welcomed into communities of any size. So, it begins with empathy. You can't relate meaningfully and peacefully with others without this. But we're going to start with some ideas about empathy, okay? What it is, what it's for, etc. In a technical sense, empathy is the psychological identification with or vicarious experiencing of the feelings, thoughts, or attitudes of another. Okay? I'm going to say that one more time. The psychological identification with or vicarious experiencing of the feelings, thoughts, or attitudes of another. In other words, putting yourself in another's shoes. Okay, we've all heard that before. Walk a mile in someone else's shoes. Right? That's what empathy. That's the basis of the idea of empathy. Is you don't know what those shoes feel like on your feet until you've put them on and walked in them, right? Like, that's fairly straightforward. We can picture that. The problem with this particular thing that we've all heard our entire lives, walk a mile in another man's shoes, right? Is that as fabulous as that is, as important as that is for bonding, for making connections, for communicating, for being understood, and for understanding someone else, as important as that is, as critical as that is, I just said it's where we begin for being a functioning, welcomed member of a group. The problem with that is it takes time. Empathy takes time. Think about it. You say, I want to empathize with this person who lives on the other side of the world in the jungle. How are you going to do that? You may not be in a position to empathize with someone because you have no overlapping experience. You cannot identify with the feelings, thoughts, or attitudes of another because you've never walked in shoes like theirs. What if they don't wear shoes in that culture? It's all you've ever known. What if it is someone on the other side of the world in a jungle who eats very little, borderline starvation just all of the time. And they eat chiefly bugs and rice and whatever else they can scratch together, some mushrooms, some moss off of trees. Maybe if you catch an occasional frog, there's some good eating, get some protein in. How will you practically walk a mile in their shoes? Literally or figuratively. How will you do that? What about someone who lives in the more mountainous desert areas of like the Near East? How will you identify with someone in Tajikistan? How will you empathize with their feelings, thoughts, or attitudes? Meaningfully, practically. How will you walk a mile in their sandals? You could, right? Even now your brain is like, well, okay, I could, if you had to, right? I could get a plane ticket, whatever, no, get a boat to get what I could go over there. I could set up shop in a town somewhere in some sort of village, right? I could live that life. Yeah. And some of you have. Some of you have. Whether it's the Middle East, the Near East, the Far East, the Southeast, wherever, the frozen climes of the North. Maybe you have. Maybe you've traveled a little bit. And you're like, oh, no, I've experienced cultures different than mine. And I lived them, Gus. I was there. I did walk a mile in those shoes. I walked a mile on the cobblestone of ye olde Europe. I walked a mile on the old concrete roads that Rome laid out round the crescent of the Mediterranean. Okay, I walked this road and that road, and I walked those muddy tracks. Yeah, okay, great, excellent. How long did that take? For just one culture. And for one facet of that culture, no less. Maybe you identify with the upper class of that society. Maybe you identify with the lower class of that society. Did you get to walk a mile in the shoes of the upper crust of that society? What about the royalty? For the places that still have like official, literal like royalty, royal families and lineages and hierarchies and structures and all that jazz. Do you know what it's like to empathize with them? No, because they probably didn't let you walk the palace grounds, right? And if you were in a position to walk the palace grounds and walk a mile in their shoes, you probably didn't walk a mile in the feces mud slums of the same country. Right? Do you see what I'm after? This takes time. Empathy is not cheap. Empathy is not easy. Empathy is not free. Empathy is costly. Chiefly, it's costly to your time. It's costly in time. Yes, emotional energy. It can be to your finances and resources and all that. Sure, it can be taxing in those ways. Of course it can. But chiefly, it is a time-consuming thing to walk a mile in the shoes of another. And incidentally, it's worth adding in here, too, that being a tourist somewhere doesn't mean you've walked a mile in their shoes. Being a tourist is kind of like going to, say, France. And you're like, I'm going to go see the Eiffel Tower. Okay, great. You land somewhere. You land in Paris, right? You hitch a ride somewhere. You put on the shoes, take a couple pictures, and then take off the shoes. You didn't go a mile. You didn't go half a mile. You didn't live it. So anybody who has visited Berlin for a day, 2 days, you didn't walk a mile in anyone's shoes. You visited Japan. You were there for 2, 3, 4 days. You put on the shoes, and then you took off the shoes. You don't know what it's like to be a rice farmer. I got a friend who says this about Florida, incidentally. Born and raised, 5th generation Floridian. And he takes this to heart. Very serious about this. He says that mud, that dirt is in your blood. You don't just get that from visiting. You also don't get that from moving there. There are people in all of the cultures of the world who go, no, you don't just get to be me. You show up, take a couple selfies, and you're like, oh yeah, eat, pray, love. In this whatever country over here now, I've experienced Singapore, India, Thailand. Yeah. No, you didn't. And nobody there would go, yeah, you're an honorary one of us. They might pay lip service to it, especially if it's some sort of social function or whatever, ribbon cutting, some fancy social event, something or other, right? Maybe if it's a political exchange, we've given you the key to the city, but no one there is like, hey, you're one of us. Because you don't know what it's like. Empathy is living it. Nothing brings men closer than shared suffering is a phrase that I've employed here many times, and it's something that every single person in the military understands. You go through boot camp with people, you leave boot camp, who can you talk to about boot camp? The civilians you left behind? Civilian family you left behind? Or other military folks who've been through similar boot camp training? What if you've been deployed? What if you've seen combat? What if you've been shot at? What if you've been shot? Who can empathize with you? The folks who've walked in those shoes. Not everyone. If you're a civilian, whether you chose to or some medical thing withheld you, whatever the cause, this is no judgment, okay? This is just a statement of facts. If you're a civilian who's never served in the military, you don't know what it's like to wear a uniform. You don't empathize with what it means to be deployed. You don't. As a technical thing, you don't. Oh, I empathize with the troops who are doing... No, you don't. Now, you can sympathize. Very different. You don't empathize. You've not walked a mile in those combat boots. You've not been in the 125-degree weather in full battle rattle, rolling around in an up armor with windows 4 inches thick that you can't open, because if you do, then if an IED goes off, the overpressure in the gun truck will actually you'll just smush, you'll just die. The overpressure will kill you if the mechanism, the ordnance itself doesn't. So no, you can't roll down the windows. Oh yeah, and the AC broke. Because of course it did. I'm going to bring this back. If I did actually set out to empathize properly with this person, just one person, it might take years. Years, incidentally, that you don't have. That I don't have. That none of us have. None of us can empathize perfectly with everyone. You cannot empathize with everyone everywhere. It's a logistics impossibility, okay? There are simply not enough hours in one's life. It's not possible. Not possible. Knowing this, I want to talk to you about the shortcut. I'm not just here to be like, this is a definitions thing and we're playing some fun sophistry type games and isn't that neat? Empathy is not what you thought it was. That's not what I'm doing. I'm here for the solution. I'm kind of big on that thing. This is a shortcut, not a cheat. This is a shortcut to authentic for realsies empathy. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. That's what we're talking about. I'm grateful to have you guys along for it. Incidentally, y'all will likely be familiar with the phrase that sums up the shortcut. It goes something like this. Treat others the way you'd want to be treated. Historically and, simply, this phrase has been called the golden rule. The golden rule. Now, before we go into that, though, many people, wow, so many people. So I'm gonna interrupt some of the thinking here. I'm gonna interrupt some of what maybe someone's typing right now. Okay, I'm gonna put many people that I have known and read and all of this try to dismiss the golden rule and supplant it with another. folks will try to tell you that it's a flawed prescription for behavior and tell you that you should instead follow the so-called platinum rule. I really hope nobody hit enter if they were typing that out. That, the so-called platinum rule, tells you to treat others the way they would want you to treat them. Okay, the golden rule says treat others the way you'd want to be treated. Platinum rule says treat others the way they'd want to be treated. Do you see? You get the difference? Okay. I'm going to piss some people off real quick. If anyone in your life tries to hit you with the platinum rule correction here, they are foisting upon you a hollow virtue signal that means nothing, less than nothing. And their doing so is actually quite ironic. You see, the reason they'll do so is because they take umbrage with the original idea of treat them the way you would want to be treated. Now, specifically, their suggestion is that you don't know what's best for someone else. And therefore, you'd be forcing yourself, or your values, or your cares, upon another. That's the assumption, okay? That's the underlying assumption. And at first glance, that sounds quite caring and thoughtful. It's not. Their insistence, incidentally, on the platinum rules, treat others how they would want you to treat them, actually saddles you with not one, but two impossibilities. It's also internally incoherent. Just like it contradicts itself. It is internally, inherently self-contradictory. Okay. The first problem with this is that it's fundamentally a case for moral relativism, all right? Suggesting that what might be considered good for you might not be considered good by the other, okay? This makes, right out of the gate here, an erroneous presupposition. Specifically, it presumes bad faith acting. It presumes that you are a bad faith actor. Okay, it does not assume that someone's acting in good faith for the benefit of another, a given in the original golden rule. That you are trying to be a value add proposition to people. You are trying to help people. You are trying. You may miss the mark. I certainly do. But I am trying to be a value add to your life. I'm trying to serve you well. I'm trying to improve your life. That's good faith. I am acting in good faith. Will I screw it up? Of course I will. It's the only guarantee that I make around here. It's the only promise that I make you. I'm not trying to screw it up, but I will, because I'm human. I'll miss the mark. I'll upset somebody. Sure, I already have. I'm not trying to, but it's bound to happen. Big enough group of people, you will piss off someone. You just will. You will too. So the presupposition that I'm acting in bad faith and I'm trying to screw over somebody else is erroneous. The original golden rule presumes already that you are trying to treat someone well in a way that benefits and grows them. So to suggest that it doesn't is itself an act of bad faith. To say, no, that rule sucks, platinum rule, is to presuppose bad faith of the former, which is itself a bad faith take on the prescription of the golden rule. Do you see it? The idea of the original, the golden rule, has a presupposition of its own. That there does exist a moral and objective good, that there are such things as right and wrong, and that you, the one acting in a given scenario, know the difference and that you seek the good of another. That's the presupposition. That's what good faith actors do. Else, how do you act in good faith? On what grounds? By what premise? Are you a good faith actor? If there's no such thing as objective good. The golden rule presupposes that you understand that there is good and that you seek it. Okay? But back to the platinum rule for it's the second impossibility that it crushes you under. It says treat people the way that they would want to be treated, right? Okay? On what grounds would you then act? How can you know how they'd want to be treated? How can you function like this in the world? How do you know how another wants to be treated? And before you say, well, no, it's not an objective good. Okay, there's not an objective good. So you ask, okay, if everything is relative, then you can't know. You can never approach an encounter with another human being knowing what would be good for them. You'd have to enter every single one of those by asking them what's good in this scenario. And obviously this falls apart under the tiniest weight, the most minuscule amount of scrutiny. Of course it does. What if the person's the person on the plane and they blacked out and I need your consent to put your oxygen mask on your face? What, you strip all their clothes off and look for a DNR tattoo? How does the whole world need to be restructured in order to do this? It's the tiniest bit of scrutiny. Okay. But still, say you want to do this. You want to understand what everybody's relative take on what good means before you do any sort of acting toward any other person ever. All right. It also then suggests that you will need to get to know them well enough to know how they'd want to be treated. Every single person, everywhere, all the time. And that carries with it an internally incoherent expectation that it's possible to learn what they'd consider to be right and wrong. To consider, or to get to what they say is for them. Good or bad. Which means they have a take on it. Which means it's relative to, no, it's objective in the moment to it's, so it's not relative because they have a firm understanding of what's right and wrong for them. Because if it is always relative, then how they should be treated is actually a forever moving target, one that you cannot hope to nail down. Put another way, the platinum rule tells you to, one, come to a place of comprehensive and meaningful empathy with another person such that you understand what they believe to be good in a given moment. And then two, act on what they have decided is good in that moment, but never get comfortable because they could change their minds about what is good from moment to moment, right? And three, you can never refuse under this way of thinking and operating. You can never refuse to treat someone how they want you to, even if you find it wrong or even repugnant, morally reprehensible, because remember, it's all relative. You must, therefore, do whatever they say. Yeah, you can just let your imagination go with that. To sum up then, it suggests it's possible to know how others want to be treated. It's not possible to know how others want to be treated because it's relative. So, we've swatted away the prattle of those who would never live any of this out anyways, because they won't. We can actually get down to business. The posit. Empathy is possible only because there is an objective moral good in the world and in the human experience. It ain't relative. None of you live a morally relativistic life. You can say it all you want. You don't live it. You absolutely do not. No one does. We've talked about this before, but every culture in existence finds betrayal to be reprehensible. Someone says, I'm going to do this thing, and then they backstab you. No one ever in human history has ever been okay being backstabbed. No one. Every single culture on Earth. Now, that's just one example. There are obviously many more that are obvious to any good faith thinkers, anyway. But okay, I told y'all I was going to tell you about a shortcut. If you want to know how to function in this world and how to have meaningful human interaction that leads to meaningful and lasting relationships, here's how. You cannot, again, as a matter of logistics, time, physics, impossibility, walk a mile in everyone's shoes. But you can, follow me, project the image of yourself onto another. You can project your experience onto what somebody else is going through. Many of you have already heard me talk about Past Gus. Past Gus was an asshole. Past Gus was a complete, irredeemable jerk. So would have said anybody, including Past Gus, if he were honest. Treated people like objects, used them for his own purposes. Person's value was only, measured by how much higher Past Gus could get by stepping on them. Just sort of picture the worst, most insufferable person that you know, Past Gus, okay? Didn't deserve grace and patience from others. Did not deserve someone else giving the benefit of the doubt. Did not deserve second chance, third chance, 10th chances. Didn't deserve any of that. Deserved a hammer. Deserved a swift kick in the face. Okay, a swift kick in the teeth. Deserved a lot of things. Deserved justice. Frankly, did a lot of things wrong that were reprehensible against other people. Deserved the hammer. Deserved the book to be thrown at him. Deserved really kind of a lot of terrible. Deserved all of that. Did not deserve love. Got both, though. Got both here and there from people in his family, in his unit, the Marines, in his, what was left of his friend circle. Received patience anyways that he didn't earn. Received second chances that he didn't deserve. Now, knowing this about Past Gus, knowing this, having this in my brain, having this chunk of information in my brain right now, today, and every day, having this experience, having lived this, and being grateful that I'm still alive, that I didn't get the hammer that I deserved, having gotten a second and third and fourth and 10th chance that I didn't deserve, all that led me to this, that led me to here, that led me to a relationship with you, that led me to this business, that led me to the marriage that I have, that led me to the life circumstances that I have, the health that I have, the work that I have, the purpose that I have. Knowing where I've been and all of how that went down or didn't go down, I can look at someone, one of you, who reminds me of Past Gus. I don't know how many of you are as bad as Past Gus, but he was pretty bad. Pretty reprehensible. Pretty irredeemable is not far off. I can look at one of you who reminds me of Past Gus and extend to them seeing my own face on yours. The patience and grace, even if you don't think you need it, Even if you don't think you want it, maybe you think you're perfect and you've never done anything wrong, and actually it's the rest of the world that needs to change. You don't need patience and grace. Everyone else needs to get on your level. I can project my own face onto yours. I can superimpose myself on you, past Gus, on you. And then I can use my own understanding of the world with the benefit of hindsight and all of that to think about, to ponder what is actually, objectively good for them. I have seen what was objectively good for Gus. What was necessary to help him, to correct him, to course correct, dear God, to save him from himself largely. I can project that face onto any one of you and extend patience and grace where I perhaps am feeling ill-equipped to extend either. Perhaps, certainly, the easiest one to picture for any one of you, where I don't want to, because you don't deserve it, right? Because this person hasn't earned it, because they definitely shouldn't get it. But a good parent, I'll emphasize a good parent. This should be the status quo for all parents ever. Alas for those of you who didn't experience some form of this. A good parent gets this because they see themselves, perhaps obviously, in their kid. They see themselves. You don't understand, Mom. I love him. Why do we laugh at stuff like that? Why do we laugh whenever that's in a movie or a show or anything and the teenage daughter says, Mom, you don't get it? Why do we laugh when we hear that? Why do adults laugh? Teenagers might not. Teenagers might not laugh. Ugh, Mom, Dad, you just don't get it. You don't understand what it's like to be me. And every parent goes, and we hear something sassy, which I've heard from many of you parents, incidentally, when all of you go, yep, that's it. I actually was just born at this age, a couple years ago, in fact. So I'm kind of new to the world. If you could explain it to me, 14-year-old, 15-year-old, if you could explain it to me, that'd be great, because I'm new here. Why do we laugh? Because we've been there. We've been there. It's almost as if some of our experiences, this humaning business, this humaning realm, are universal. How does a good parent know how to raise a child or a teenager? Well, it can start with, here's what I needed. I've got a dear friend who's going through this right now. A friend couple who's going through this right now. Got a teenage son, and he's at this age, and he's doing this, and he's treating things like this, he's saying this is his attitude toward this, right? And like, all right, it's all bad, and how's it gonna change? And I'm like, damn, that was me. Holy, that's exactly what I did. And then I thought, I wonder if my parents ever talked to like other couple friends of theirs, like, what do we do with Gus? What do we do with our son? He's doing this, and it's all bad, and I don't know what to. I wonder if they had this conversation with other parents, like, I don't know what to do with him. But this couple is relaying to me this story of their son who's at this age, and I'm like, whew. Well, okay, let me tell you. If it sounds like he's an awful lot like past Gus, sounds an awful lot like me at that age. Here's what didn't work. This. None of those things worked. What I needed was... And they went, oh. I empathized with their teenage son. I've never met their teenage son. How can I empathize with him? This is genuine empathy, and I've never met him. I superimposed myself, my own face, onto his. I know the circumstance because I've walked it. We do have something shared in the human experience, and in this case, the cultural experience as well. We've got a lot of overlap because I've been there. Superimpose yourself onto the face of another and think, if I knew better, with all the knowledge and wisdom and discernment I now have about how the world is and how the world works, if I were 10, 12, 14, 20, 30, if I could go back with all of what I now understand, what it's like to be a 12-year-old, and about what I actually needed in the world, what I actually would have benefited from, not just what I would have wanted. Yeah, what a 7-year-old wants all of the time is ice cream for every meal. Should you give it to him? Platinum rule? Stupid. No. But you, with the value of hindsight, with the benefit of the wisdom that you now hold, you can superimpose your face onto theirs and go, what would I have needed in their spot? How would I have wanted to be treated too? Maybe the kid's a little piece of crap. I was. Maybe the kid doesn't deserve a second chance. I didn't. I'm grateful I got one, though. Even if I didn't understand. Even if I didn't value it. Even if I didn't appreciate that second chance. I was given unmerited favor. I was given grace. So you can superimpose your face onto another and do the exact same thing. If I knew better, maybe this person says, I want this, and I want this, and I want this. But you, perhaps older, wiser, go, I've been in that spot before. I said the exact same things. I need this. These are my demands. Now you have. You might not look like them. You might not eat the same things that they eat. You might not have walked in the literal mud that they have. But this is the shortcut to empathy. This is the whole if I knew in kindergarten what I know now, sort of, if that whole thing, right? This is the shortcut to empathy. Is taking wisdom, the skill of navigating life well, taking your understanding, your knowledge, and applying it to others, and understanding that there is an objective good. There is. How would you want an objective good, with what wisdom you have now, to be exercised for the benefit of you? If this person were you. Historically, I studied law. You guys know this. Most of you know this. I knew several judges, okay? Not a ton of judges, but a couple judges. And they wrestled with the idea of justice. Same as, well, more than all of us. But if you were to sit down and have a discussion about this, they wrestle with the same notions. Which is, I could dismiss this. It's within my power. I'm the judge, bang the gavel or whatever it is. I could throw away this ticket, this traffic citation, this moving citation, this fix-it ticket for the car. I could just throw it out. Would that work? Would it achieve what I want it to? Would it help with what? Depends on what your aims are. And if you're a good judge, you're thinking about the society. You're thinking about the group. You're thinking about the community. You're thinking about the whole spirit of the law, how it relates to letter of the law, all that, right? And so you're like, what is good for the cohesion and overall health and well-being of the whole? Not what will make this one person feel good. That's not the consideration. It can be part of the calculus, but it can't be the be-all. It cannot be the full picture. It's not. It's an impoverished way of looking at things, which is why bad judges are the ones that say, well, I don't want to be mean. Your job is to look after the health of the organism, the whole organism. And that might mean exercising justice, executing justice, bringing down the hammer on this one part of the whole. That's what the justice system is. Justice requires this. It's why in a community, sometimes we have to be harsh. Sometimes we do need to have tough words. Sometimes we do need to straighten someone out or something out. Sometimes we've got to do that. Why? To make someone feel bad? No, not at all. That would be the entirely wrong heart. That would be some form of narcissism, some sort of power, just being a tyrant of some kind. That's a pride-based thing. That's just you being a tyrant. I want to crush others so that they know to fear me. It's a completely wrong heart. It's totally separate from everything. If you've got the right heart, though, as a good parent again, will that mean disciplining your kids? Absolutely it will. And you, with the benefit of hindsight, will know that if you are at all wise. You will understand. No, I can't just give them ice cream for every meal. Would I have liked that? Yes, but I also know better now. I empathize. I remember being in that spot. I remember wanting the same things. I empathize. That doesn't mean I need to act on that empathy. Wisdom will dictate what I do next. Empathy is how we start understanding where another is coming from. Justice and doing the right but difficult thing, that's actually a separate talk. That's all its own deal. This was about empathy. How do you get to a place of empathy? That's the shortcut. You can't walk a mile in their shoes. Not with everybody, not with everyone, everywhere. You can't. It's not possible. But you can superimpose yourself on them and go, okay, how would I have wanted to be? Like, how did past Gus feel? Now, knowing what I know, how would I want to be treated? If I were loving, if I were caring, if I were a good faith actor towards this person, knowing what I now know, how would I respond? How would I treat this person the way that I want to be treated? That's the basis for empathy right there. If you lack the ability to do this, you will have trouble empathizing. Incidentally, psychopathy and sociopathy, it is often said as a colloquial sort of explanation that folks like this don't empathize properly. That is to say, they cannot easily, or at all in some cases, superimpose their own face on that of another. They cannot project their own person onto another. They can't do that. If I were to say to somebody who is limited in this regard, whose mentals dispose them toward this, right? If I were to say, put yourself in their shoes. They can't. It's kind of a lack of creativity, in a sense. You can't. Imagine being her, but I'm not her. Well, I know, but just picture. I'm not a blonde. She's a blonde. I don't know. What? I know, but just picture, like, the hair color doesn't matter. Just picture, well, she's short, and I'm not that short. We're not even the same height. We don't even look, like, remotely similar. You see? Psychopathy and sociopathy, very often there's the inability to do this. It is also said that maturity is the ability to project oneself into the future. Again, psychopaths and sociopaths have a very hard time with this. It's, okay, just picture yourself 2 years from now, 1 year from now, 6 months from now. If you do this action right now, where will you be in 6 months? But I'm not in 6 months. I'm right here, right now. Just use your imagination. Picture yourself slightly older 6 months from now. Look, it'll be fall 6 months from now, and the leaves will be turning. Right, but the leaves aren't turning. The weather will be a little bit colder. Yeah, but it's warm. There are lots of people with all sorts of, incidentally, all sorts of mentals that exist out there where someone has a hard time projecting themselves into the future. And there's a reason why that is associated with lack of maturity. That maturity is how well you function, how skillfully you function within a society, or even just with yourself, which of course extends to how you would respond or how you would act in a society, how you would behave, how you would be incorporated into, how you would benefit a society. Of course, it starts with you. But if you can't project yourself 5 minutes from now, why not steal that thing? And then you're like genuinely surprised when someone's cuffing you for like robbery. You're like, yeah, but I wanted it. Impulse control and inability to project yourself into the future. You're like, what? I'm so shocked that this is happening. Think about it. So some people, sure, you're limited in this regard. That's not most of the people out there. And incidentally, that's not who will benefit from this talk. The one who will benefit from any of this are the ones who can indeed project their face onto another and go, it would make me feel real good to drop the hammer on this person. They're wrong. They suck. Oh, their takes are so bad. Oh, they're so stupid. Oh, they're so stupid. If only someone would just... What? Oh, just crush them. Just stomp them into the... What if that's you? What if that actually is you? What if you are the 16-year-old with really bad takes? What if that's you? What if you're sitting there at 14, 15 years old going, God, mom and dad are so stupid. I wish someone would just, they don't know anything about anything. And oh, they're so ignorant to how the world works because they're older than me. What if you're the ignorant one? Because you're 14, 13. What if you're ignorant in 27? What if you're ignorant in 37? What if you're ignorant in 57? We all are about something. Same thing with the can't walk a mile in everybody's shoes. You can't be an expert at everything. I can't either. None of us can. I can be really skilled in this area right here. Put a bunch of time and energy and effort into it and be terrible at everything else. All the greats are just like that. I was just talking to a handful of you about this on Wednesday. If you are the world's best cello player, the best there is, what is that, Yo-Yo Ma? If that's you, and someone's like, you should really play tackle football. This person, brilliant at mathematics and all of this stuff. Yeah, but can they tackle? This person is solving all of these chemistry things that are creating, like, the drug programs to save this many people's lives. Yeah, but do they know how to sheetrock a house? All of us are ignorant about stuff. And it's not just some stuff. All of us, without exception, me included. You too. You too. Not, well, yeah, them. And them too. You. All of us are more ignorant than not. I know about this and this and this and these 10 things. Great, there's 10,000 other things. Congratulations on your mastery of this one. That's everybody's experience for all of mankind's history. We cannot be generalists who are good at everything. So, it seems reasonable, therefore, that my default position when harpooning someone, when lambasting somebody for their ignorance, say again, I'm 14. Oh, stupid mom, stupid dad, they don't understand. You, perhaps older than that, right now, hearing these words go, yeah, the 12-year-old, the 13-year-old doesn't really have much leg to stand on. That's true. And you're sitting there at 25, 26, 27, 30, 31, 37, 38, 39, and you're like, yeah, but I've got it all together. I understand everything in order to have a comprehensive, totally just way of handling every single person I encounter. Platinum rule. That's embarrassing. What's the cliche? The more I learn how much more I have to learn. The more I come to know, the more I understand just how little I know, how little I understand. You try really hard to understand stuff, to accrue some knowledge, and the more you do that, the more you realize, wow, this took so much time and effort, and this is just scratching the surface of this one thing. That ought to be the source of an enormous source of humility for us. And then, when we go to empathize with somebody else who is different than us, dear God, who is other, when we raise the gavel and we're like, this is where I crush this person under my boot. Maybe pause long enough to empathize with them in their position and their naivete, perhaps, in this area with which you take umbrage of something that they said, some opinion that they have, before you go, I shall crush them underfoot. Were you ever in that spot? Would you want to be crushed underfoot? Sometimes. It might be a harsh thing. Sometimes, again, back to like the parenting thing or mentoring thing is, yeah, when I was 13, I needed some hard truths. I needed some tough love. I needed someone to kind of drop the hammer a little bit. I did need a wake-up call. So maybe your knee-jerk reaction of, I'll just cut them some slack. It's what they would want, after all. Right. But is it what they need? Is it what you needed? This is the scaffolding for understanding how we relate to one another, gang. This is it. This is the scaffolding. It shifts, it moves, case by case basis. Oh man, this one you're going to need 5 tiers of the scaffolding over here, and this one you're going to need 17. This one you only need 1. This is the basis. Wisdom and discernment are the things that I aim for each week. These are the things I hope every single week concludes with me being more wise, more discerning than I was the week before. For this precise reason. Gang, I am privileged beyond words to do life alongside so very many of you. We've kicked off the next round of Cosa Nostra Rendezvous, the smaller group hangout get-together things that we do weekly here. I can see the next group tomorrow. Everybody in these groups is different. from so many different walks of life, backgrounds, different age groups, parents, not parents, young, old, up, down, left, right. We got people from everywhere. How should I deal with all of y'all in every single circumstance? How will I do a decent job? Not even like a good job. How will I do a passable job of that? How will you? If you're in that community. How will you if you are part of one of those groups? How will you if you are part of any society, big or small? How will you in any relationship, minor or significant, platonic or romantic? How will you? Not well, not without wisdom, not without discernment. How do we tolerate? Just tolerate. How do we just stand being in the presence of people who think differently, who have a different vantage point and therefore see the world differently, who are genuinely ignorant about something that they are spouting off as if they were experts about? What about somebody who is genuinely an expert, but you're like, I don't what even language are they speaking? I don't understand any of this at all. How do I relate? How do you relate? How do we relate to our fellow man? Empathy. And that's not free. Empathy ain't free. Empathy involves quite a lot. Because in addition to wisdom and discernment about knowing what you ought to do, you will also need humility enough to go, yeah, I screwed that up. Yeah, I don't know as much as I have claimed historically. Yeah, I'm probably in the wrong here. Yeah, I probably can't say that. Yeah, I'm not the moral authority that I once thought I was. And I'm not really in a position to condemn this person. Yeah, I needed some tough love. That ain't free either, is it? Humility is not cheap. Oh. And yet you need all of this to love well, to do this well. My past mistakes, my past screw-ups, all this knowledge and understanding of how I did it and how I messed it up, and use that. When someone says diversity is our strength, if they mean skin color, they're a moron. If they mean experiences, yes, they're onto something. Each of you have lived things that I haven't. Each of you were raised in ways that I wasn't. Each of you have, like some of you parents out there, I'm not a parent. Civilians who've done this career, that career, this field of study, this certification and training, this level of understanding and knowledgeability and expertise. You've got something I don't. And you bring that perspective with you, and you're like, yeah, but it sucked, Gus. I was abused in this way. Then leverage it. Take what was bad. Take what was objectively bad. The abuse you suffered. Or suffer still. And flip it for the good. Use it for good. This is one of the ways that you can do that. Leverage your past for your ability to navigate the present. For your preparing others for the future. Equip them. Equip them in the way that you wish you had been equipped. You could just be a victim, though. You could just complain. Oh, I had so many bad things. And I'm going to do nothing with that information. Screw everybody else. I want to see the world burn. All right, you're going to be alone. You just are. again, you might not even be, like, wrong. You're probably justified in being upset about things that you suffered. Probably. But you get to decide what becomes of that. Will you leverage it? Will you ignore it? Will it be wasted? Will it be beneficial? Well, if it's not going to be beneficial to past me, I don't want it to be beneficial to anybody else. Screw everybody else. You'll be alone. We die alone. If we do life alone, we die. It kills us. We can't do this alone. We're not wired for it. Humans are not built to do this alone. That's why I talk so much about getting into the CNRs. That's why I talk so much about getting into the community and getting plugged in and actually meeting with people on a regular basis to do this. Which is precisely what we're doing. That's what we do in the Mafia. We try all the things that I've just here described. We try. We don't nail it. We don't succeed every single time, but we try it. This is the essence of hard mode. Again, like I said last week, easy mode, oh, it's super easy. It's hate the people who hate you. That's all. This person doesn't like you, hate them. They already don't like you. Go ahead, it's the default setting. It's easy, it's justifiable, it makes perfect sense. Do it, that's easy mode, go for it. Knock yourself out. It'll destroy the entire world. It'll destroy the ecosystem by which humans relate. Yeah, it'll ruin everything and end mankind, sure. But it'll make you feel good for 5 minutes, huh? Easy mode. Hard mode? Empathizing. Raising the hammer in righteous indignation and going, I was there. How do I wrestle? How do I deal with this person? If I say this, they're not going to listen. But if I say this, they're going to be driven away. But if I say, welcome. Welcome to caring. It's so difficult, Gus, and it's so miserable. Indeed, that's why it's called hard mode. Many of you have, over the years, said something like, Gus, I know you're saying hard mode, but this feels an awful lot like nightmare mode. I appreciate the play on words. I appreciate the sophistry here. Yes, some weeks it definitely does, and it's different for each person. Each of you are different skill level when it comes to this humaning business. Some of you have been doing this for forever, and you are just like, oh, you navigate this stuff beautifully, and you make it look easy while you do it. Others, you're like, I'm trying. And every single time I open my mouth, I seem to make things worse. I said this, which I thought would have this effect, and now they won't talk to me. What is... Welcome. Welcome to hard mode. My encouragement to you is, don't do it alone. If you're sitting there with those frustrated thoughts of, what did I do wrong? And unless you've got a sounding board, unless you've got people that you can run that by, and this isn't just self-talk of going, why is it like... But instead you go, okay, gang, here's the situation. Here's what I said. Here's how that went down. What did I do wrong? Where did I stray? I thought for sure this would... And then you gather the feedback from others who have diversity of experience and background and insights and perspectives. And they go, ooh, you said that? And you're like, what? What? It made perfect sense. And they're like, ugh. I was in that spot once upon a time. And, yeah, someone said that to me, and I rebelled, and then I went off and did this, and went off into the weeds for a couple years as a consequence, and because here's how it made me feel. And now you have an insight that you didn't have before, because you didn't try to do it alone. Do not die in isolation. Be a part of a community that does this with intentionality, that has decided as part of its DNA, as part of its identity, as part of its marrow, as part of its mission to do this for realsies. I have a mission statement. That's the short version of it right there. I wrote it out in a much longer form called the Mafia Manifesto, okay? It's in the Mafia Community Discord, links to the usual things in the usual places I want to insult your intelligence. If you go into the Discord and you go to the top left, I believe it's under Server Stuffs, you can find the Mafia Manifesto, and you can find a much longer version of this, a much longer treatment of this. That explains the spirit behind this thing, the backbone, the idea that animates this community. Some communities, this community exists to make money. This community exists to have gamers gather so that they can game more readily and easily. Okay, cool. This community is to educate people on finances and how they can invest. And okay, great. This community is for parenting tips for newborns. You've got new kids and you can ask questions. Okay, great. Communities that last have a purpose. Hopefully a good purpose. Hopefully a meaningful purpose. Sure. They have a mission, in other words. This community's mission? What all I've just described to you. Get good. Not at a game per se. Not at parenting per se. Not at finances per se. At humaning. And all of the crazy complexity that comes with it. There's a lot here, gang. It's the most daunting thing of all. You can get skilled with finances with a little bit of work. You can get skilled with IT with a little bit of work. You can get skilled at a particular game with a little bit of work. This humaning stuff, this is comprehensive, and it is intimidating. Rightfully so. If you're not intimidated by the prospect of what all humaning covers, you don't have a broad enough understanding of what the heck it is. I invite you to get plugged into this thing and try it. You're not going to nail it every week. You're not going to nail it every day. You're not. I'm not. None of us are. We are each of us disappointments. And you're talking to the disappointment in chief right here, right now. It's me. Despite all of my efforts, despite my best efforts, I've fallen asleep in my chair the last 2 days, you guys. I am exhausted. I have flubbed my words a couple times tonight. That stuck out like a sore thumb to me. I missed several correspondences this week that were pretty time sensitive. I missed a couple meetings, incidentally. And all of that is pretty embarrassing. I'm a human. So I know it's going to happen. Doesn't make it not matter. Doesn't make it not affect those people. It doesn't make it... It doesn't lessen the importance of things. I've screwed things up. I'm going to continue to screw things up. As a matter of course. You know what? That is a source of humility for me. You guys deserve my very best, and I will strive to give it to you. I will wrestle with these ideas, hopefully by your side. Not just as some spectacle on a stage in front of you, but alongside you. Life's big, scary ideas, I want to do that alongside you. So that we can figure some stuff out. Not just speculate near one another. This medium is no good for this. This medium is no good for me getting to hear your thoughts. Sure, you can hear mine, but this one-way street is unbecoming of you. Relationship alongside you is the only way we get deeper. That's what I hope you'll get plugged into. That's why I hope that you will get behind this Mafia project. And if you are in a position to support this thing, if you are in a position where you're like, yeah, no, I've got some of my financial house in order. Not all of it. It ain't perfect. But enough to throw down $5 a month. Enough to sub on Rumble, where all of it actually goes to the creator. Enough to get Rumble Premium for the year. Enough to whatever. Consider doing it. Consider supporting something like this. Something that is trying, not nailing it every time, trying to make the world a little less terrible, and to be a little more positive about it, to try and make the world a little bit nicer, a little bit better, for the sake of, sure, us, but for those who come after, because it's how we would want to be treated. What about the next generation who's going through all of this? How do they want to be treated? How you would? With compassion, with care, with A wise navigator at the helm. If you are in a spot right now where you're like, I can't get plugged into Community Gus, my schedule is doing this crazy business, I can't get in on this thing, I can't do this, I can't do that, I invite you to set an alarm for some of the streams. I stream Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Be here with your bandwidth. Be a +1. That's all. Be a +1. People out there view bot, right? People buy bots. That means that a view is valuable. It costs to them money to do that. And since I'm not going to pay some organization to have fake viewers and all that jazz, I invite you to be one of those +1s. That bandwidth goes farther than you know. On Rumble, on Twitch, on all of it. You can pull it up on YouTube. Watch one of the videos. Don't even watch it. Just pull it up and hit play. Mute the thing and hit play. Find a playlist. One of the longer playlists if you really want to. And just hit play. Mute the tab and let it go while you're sleeping. There's so many ways that you can do this without cracking open your wallet. This is a business. It does require dollars. Which is why I am so grateful to all of you guys who have sacrificed, because that's the proper word for this, sacrificed your dollars that you now can't spend on anything else. You can't do anything else with. Other good things, other worthy things. $5 a month that can't go to the animal shelter. That can't go to the clothes closet for people who can't afford the clothes. That can't go to the soup kitchen. $5 that you are counting on me trying to do at least that much good in the world with. And it is my assurance to you that I will steward those $5 or whatever amount you guys can. I will steward those as well as I'm able to, be of value, at least as great as it would going to the shelter or to the food pantry. That's my aim. I take this very seriously. I don't take a single dollar for granted. The folks tonight who parted with their dollars, thank you. To all the patrons who've subscribed that I get to plan the future of this based on, thank you. Those of you guys who have pulled up the Rumble and YouTube videos and watched those things and passed around a short or two, thank you. And in particular to all of you who have tried this humaning thing. This is how we save the world. That's not hyperbole. If I'm practicing this, great, I'm just one person. And yeah, I'm going to have an impact on the people that I interact with, because I won't be as insufferable, as awful as I might otherwise be. And if you do it, then you will be a little less insufferable than you otherwise might be, and you will improve the quality of the humaning space around you. And then if another one of you does it, and do you see? This is how we save the world. My invitation to you is, be a part of that. Try. Though it be hard, try. Because it's how you want to be treated. With consideration, with love, with respect, with care. Treat people the way you want to be treated. You know, just the hardest thing in the world. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this thing. I ran longer than I had wanted to. I appreciate your guys' patience. I got a bit carried away with a little bit of this. But I am passionate about it. I am passionate about these ideas, and I am passionate about trying to do this well. I am passionate about trying to be a value-add proposition to your life. It's why I don't lament all of the work. What are you doing on this holiday? Work. What are you doing on this holiday? More work, baby. Why will you do all that work? Why will you? You, baby. Because of you. That's why. That's why I'll do it. Because you're pretty swell. I know it. Others might know it too. You might have a ways to go, but you're still worth the effort. I hope you'll stick around long enough to put in that effort, and long enough to see the benefits realized, and long enough for that benefit to extend to somebody else. It's really something. Next stream is in the morning, you guys. Next stream is tomorrow morning. We do 2 streams on Saturdays now. As of 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? I don't know. Tomorrow morning. There's a stream at 10 a.m. Pacific time. I don't know what time that is where you guys are. We're in like a time zone daylight savings thing that's weird right now in the world. Some people have done daylight savings. Other of you haven't done daylight savings. If you really want to be there for the beginning of that thing, just put it in Google and be like 10 a.m. Pacific. You could say 10 a.m. Reno, Nevada time in my time, and it'll tell you. Okay, so it's like, what is that, 12 hours plus it's 15 hours. It's 14 and a half hours from now. That doesn't help at all, actually. That's not, now you gotta do math. And okay, it's tomorrow morning. It's a just chatting session. If you have questions about any of this stuff tonight, if there's something that I can elucidate, if there's something that I can clarify, if there is something that I can elaborate on that you're like, I'm gonna need some clarification.
I don't apologize to take care of my family. And I refused.
Hell yeah, Guts picking up one of them gifted, let's go.
Dancing on the string held by all those big shots.
Thank you again, Trotsky. And to you out there, Snow. Thank you again for everybody who made this possible. Tomorrow morning will be a just chatting session. Get to spend some time together. Just for an hour and a half. Just a short little check-in. Just a, hey, how are you? You can tell me about what's going on in your world, and I'll actually read chat. I don't get to do that all the time. Certainly not with these. So I get to read chat, so you can tell me, bring me up to speed on what's going on in your world and all that jazz, okay? That's tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow evening, the same time that this one began, 5 p.m. Pacific time, okay? We're playing the next Anything But Apex game. We finished Dishonored, the definitive thing. We got the world first. That was 2 weeks ago. Then we did Minecraft last Saturday. Tomorrow night, we kick off the next patron-voted game. It's called Gone Home. Please, no spoilers. I have not been through it. It's apparently another knowledge-based game where once you've played it, you can't play it again. Because then you have the knowledge and you're like, oh, okay. So you only get to play it once. So if you are familiar with the title, please, no spoilers. I'll be playing that tomorrow. I'm told it's a rather short game. It's technically possible that I could finish it in a single stream, but it's me, so... Is that possible? Is it possible that we get to finish it tomorrow in one single stream? Oh, we'll see. We'll see if we finish it in a sitting. Craziest, worst case scenario, we'll finish it next Saturday. But yes, that's the plan. That's the plan. So tomorrow morning, just chatting session. Get to check in with you guys, 10 a.m. Pacific. Tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Gone Home. The next Anything But Apex game. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. All right. That's it. That's all the stuff. That's all the things. Thank you again to everybody who's been here. Thank you to everybody who's a part of this thing. Sorry again for all the missed chat. Hopefully I get to touch base with all you guys tomorrow morning for all of you that I missed. No raid tonight because I don't like to raid out after the seriousness. You guys know this. Veterans of the channel know that I do not like to raid after something deep and heavy like tonight. So, you can reclaim your bandwidth on all of the platforms. Thank you guys for all of those things. It means an awful heckin' lot. What will it look like? What will it look like, this human in business? What will it look like in your life? What will it look like in the relationships around you? What will it look like in your family? In your workplace? In your community? What will it look like for us here in the Mafia doing this thing going forward? What will it look like in the days, weeks, months, hopefully years ahead? Come and see. Come and see. And as ever, I will strive to see that it's a decision that you don't regret. And in the meantime, I wish for you each marvelous evenings, mornings, wherever ye be. And I will see you on the other side.